I went over to Japan in the early 80s to study landscape gardening and ended up signing for an apprenticeship with a traditional landscape family. It was very hard work, and after a while I realized the real reason I had come there was to study Buddhism. And I entered a Soto Zen monastery and was deeply engaged in the practice when I contracted a serious case of sciatica and I had to leave the monastery to seek healing. I went to many different healers and finally came upon the cedar enzyme bath. And when I first went in, it was so hot, I couldn't imagine that I would come out without being burned. So I said to myself, when you're a hot Buddha, be a hot Buddha. When you're a cold Buddha, be a cold Buddha. And in that moment, I began to really receive the healing benefits of the treatment and also had a huge epiphany about the future of my life, in which I clearly envisioned bringing this amazing healing that resolved my sciatica back to the States, bringing great blessings to all who came. I returned from Japan in March of 1984, totally revved up on the idea, but every time I explained what I wanted to do to anyone, they looked at me cockeyed and thought I was pretty nuts. I had no money and was really determined to make this happen, and the only way I knew was to build things out of recycled wood from my experience living in communes. So I found this old chicken coop and chiseled the chicken shit off the wood and ran it through a planer and found someone who would let me build it on their property, shopped around a business plan, and when I finally got some money, I poured the foundation the very next day, 11/11/1984. So after 5 years, we outgrew the original place and had to seek out another location for Osmosis. And it absolutely had to be here in West Sonoma County. We'd built a strong following and we found this property here in Freestone along Salmon Creek fronting on the Bohemian Highway. And it was a very derelict property. The building was in terrible shape. The grounds were covered with junk. It was basically a junkyard. And I remember on that first day walking to the back of the property out here and getting a message from the trees and the creek, the incredible natural environment here. And it came through loud and clear that whatever it took to clean that mess up, it was going to be worth it if someday I could bring people back here and have them feel what I was feeling in communion with the nature spirits. So I proceeded to get it done, and that meant raising the money. I had to go through 18 months with 18 different governmental agencies to get the permits necessary, get the design done, build the parking lot. We removed 400 cubic yards of debris from the property. It was a gargantuan effort. And ironically, opened on 11/11/1989. The journey of Osmosis has been a huge gift and one of many struggles and confrontations with all kinds of internal and external challenges that have forced upon me growth in ways that never would have been possible had I not been faced with these myriad challenge opportunities that presented themselves. I came to this with a hugely ambitious vision, with great hope and desire to see something happen that would really make a difference in people's lives. And I held that this fusion of spiritual and practical energy was going to be a real possibility that could be manifested in a beautiful way that would bring about real, sincere, heartfelt healing and at the same time be a successful enterprise that could survive in the marketplace and be a prosperous business that would be rewarding for not only the guests and the owner and the investors, but very much for the people working here as well. And getting that right has been an enormous challenge, and it's very gratifying to have gotten to the point where we are now, where there is a lot of balance. Do we have perfection? No. But we've come a long, long ways in achieving those ideas and made them into a very substantive reality.